Is racism hardwired into our philosophical systems? That is a provocative query indeed, yet it's one we must ask. As we grapple with the complexities of race, we often find ourselves navigating the realms of individual and societal biases. But what if the roots of racism grow more profound than we think? What if our very philosophy, the bedrock of our understanding of the world, carries the imprint of racial prejudice? What if the dialectics we so cherish happen to be integrated with a history of colonialism and racial bias? The notion might seem unsettling, but it's a reality we need to confront. Let's dive into the roots of this intricate issue. Racism often has deep philosophical roots. To understand this, let's take a trip back to the era of German philosopher G.W.F. Hegel. Hegel, a titan in philosophy, is known for his contributions to dialectics, a method of argument for resolving disagreements. But there's a less talked about facet of Hegel's philosophy, influenced by colonial history and racist thinking. Now you might be wondering, what's this got to do with racism? Well, it's all about the context. Hegel lived during a time when colonialism was the norm. The racist thinking of his era permeated his philosophy, even though he might not have been explicitly aware of it. His dialectics, central to his philosophical system, were influenced by the societal norms of his time, norms that were integrated into the frame of racism and colonialism. Let's break it down a bit. Dialectics is a method of argument where a thesis is confronted with its opposing force, the antithesis and the tension between the two is resolved to form a synthesis. Now consider how this could be manipulated in a society rife with racism. The thesis could be a racist belief, the antithesis an argument against it, and the synthesis, failure of resolution of the tension, could further entrench the racist belief. With this knowledge, it isn't to say that dialectics is inherently racist. Instead, it's about how it can be used and manipulated in a society where racism is prevalent. And that's the crux of the matter. Racism isn't confined to individual beliefs or actions. It's systemic, deeply ingrained in societal norms. And yes, even in philosophical systems. The influence of Hegel's philosophy isn't concerned with his era. It has permeated through the ages, influencing countless other philosophers and thinkers. And with it, the undercurrents of racism have also trickled down, subtly shaping philosophical and societal norms. So what does this all mean? It means that to understand and combat racism truly, we need to look beyond individual beliefs and actions. We must examine our societal norms, philosophical systems, and ways of thinking and arguing. Because racism is not just about individual beliefs, it's woven into the very fabric of our philosophical systems. G.W.F. Hegel, a renowned philosopher, had views influenced by his era's racist thinking. This might come as a surprise to some, considering Hegel's stature in the world of philosophy. But let's delve deeper into this. Hegel held particular explicit racist views, a reflection of his time more than the man himself. But it's essential to understand that these individual views are not isolated. They are part of and contributed to his broader philosophical system. Hegel's philosophy, especially his concept of dialectics, was shaped by the colonial history and racist mindset of his era. The dialectic system is a method of argument for resolving disagreement, a central pillar of Hegel's philosophy. However, it is suggested that this very concept was influenced by the prevailing colonial and racist thinking of the time. Hegel's treatment of the other, the non-European, within his philosophical system, mirrors the dehumanizing views of the colonial mindset. This is a clear example of how individual racism can seep into and shape broader philosophical systems. Moreover, it's crucial to consider the historical context and origins of these ideas. Hegel's era was marked by colonialism and systemic racism, and these societal norms inevitably seeped into his philosophy. His philosophy, in turn, influenced how society viewed and treated different races. Hegel's philosophy is just one example of how racism can be deeply embedded in our philosophical beliefs. It serves as a reminder that we must critically examine not just individual racist statements, but the underlying systems and historical context that give rise to them. So, what does this mean for us today? Well, the impact of philosophical racism stretches far beyond the realms of academia. seeping into our daily lives and societal structures. It's like a hidden current, subtly guiding our perspectives and beliefs. It's seen in how we perceive different races, how we interact with each other, and how we build our social systems. For instance, the race-based philosophies of the past have shaped our understanding of race, leading to stereotypes and prejudices that persist to this day. These philosophies have also influenced the creation of societal structures that may disproportionately disadvantage certain racial groups. Moreover, the systemic racism rooted in philosophy can limit the intellectual diversity within the field itself, discouraging individuals of specific racial backgrounds from contributing their unique insights and experiences. However, recognizing the existence and impact of philosophical racism is the first step towards dismantling it. By acknowledging these biases, we can actively work to challenge and change these deeply ingrained beliefs. It's time for us to challenge these deeply embedded beliefs and fight against racism on all fronts. Understanding the philosophical roots of racism is just the first step. We've dived into the depths of Hegelian philosophy and its complex relationship with racism, and we've explored how these philosophical roots still have an impact today. The importance of reconciling disparate views on race and understanding the systemic nature of philosophical racism cannot be overstated. It's a journey that requires constant learning, questioning, and reflecting. Remember, every step towards understanding and challenging racism counts. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more thought-provoking content, and stay curious.